we're going to be generating triangles that have the same base and height, but have different shapes, and we're going to be looking at the areas. Now, in order to do that, we need to make two parallel lines to start with. And in sketchometry, we want to use these little squares to help us know when we've got parallel lines. The first thing we're going to do is go to our properties, and we are going to snap to grid so that everything we construct gets snapped to the grid. Next thing, with construct on, we're going to put down 2 points, and they're going to snap nicely to the grid so that everything lines up and we can control things. Next, we're going to create a line like that. Good. Or you could make a segment. And then what we're going to do, we're going to make another point. It doesn't matter where, but I'm going to make it here. And we're going to put a parallel line through that point. So here we go. We're going to use that nice Z thing and hopefully make the parallel line right through that point. There's our parallel line. Okay. And you can see we can drag everything all around, and right now it is stuck to the system. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to change these points. So what I'm going to do is hide them. So I'm going to go click the eye, and I'm going to hide these 2 points. So point A and point B are going to be hidden. Okay, I'm done hiding them. Now I'm going to make my 2 points on this baseline, and I'm going to make a point up here on this top line, and this is how I'm going to make my triangle. And as you can see, now these points are no longer control points, so they are not snapping. So I'm just going to change them to snapping. So I'm going to change the properties of D to snap to grid, and I'm going to change the properties of E to snap to grid, and I'm going to change the properties of F to snap to grid. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to make an actual triangle, and I'm going to do it by joining these points together. So first of all, I'm going to drag them to a nice spots so that we get a nice right-angled triangle to begin with. And I'm going to start making some segments. So I'm going to turn on construct, segment, and segment, and segment. Okay, there is my triangle. The next thing I need to do is I need to create a triangle area that I can measure. And so I'm going to do that this way by selecting these points. And you'll notice that sketchometry knows I'm making a triangle. There. Now I can go ahead and measure this area. So I'm going to go to the measure menu. I'm going to click on the triangle, and I'm going to put the measurement out here. Now it says 2.5, and that's because each of these little grid marks, the way sketchometry is set up right now, is actually 2 little squares. And I haven't figured out how to change that. Now I have a right-angled triangle, and what we are going to be doing is comparing the areas of a right-angled triangle that has, of all shapes of triangles that have the same base and same height, but different shapes. And so, make sure you turn off construct before you do that. Okay, so here comes drag, and I can drag it all around, and I can look at what happens to the area as I change the shape. So this is right-angled. All of the angles are acute in this case. And this is an example of an obtuse triangle because one of the angles is obtuse. So that's what we're doing.